And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
We get together, have a few laughs.
Welcome to Iowa Talk Guys.
I'm Theo.
I'm Teepee.
And I'm Erock.
And we're coming at you from the shack. Out here in our undisclosed location in Iowa.
Love Shack.
Love Shack, baby.
Don't play that song. Don't play. I hate that fucking song.
That's going on now. Playing right now.
Don't play that song.
Okay. Hey, this is an episode that we kind of want to do some updates on some stuff that we've spoke about before. Not a Road to War update, which we're coming out with.
Well,
we see that's popular.
Yeah,
People like
we keep
listening
saying
to it.
we're coming out with shit. And we are. It's just taking a lot of time.
There's a lot of stuff happening though.
Everything that we do is pretty much a Road to War update. That's really what this podcast is.
Kind of.
okay, so we're going to take bets how long it's going to take to get to actual war?
No.
We're there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's happening.
We've been in a proxy war for a long time.
So what are we starting with
proxy.
here?
The Amish farmer.
Amos Miller.
He's at war.
He was at war.
So
in the court system.
Yeah.
He wins his court battle.
The federal government declared war against him.
Essentially,
by levying a $300,000 fine for his meats, according to
selling raw meat and milk.
The post-millennial.
Unpasteurized
I believe this is
milk.
Jack Possebeck. It was a $300,000 fine levied against him because one of the reasons was because he doesn't use antibacterial chemicals to sterilize his products.
Which means it has to be considered adulterated.
Yeah, it's
by the
considered
USDA.
Adulterated by
I bet
the
it's some
USDA.
delicious tasting milk.
Yeah. So the fine was knocked down to $55,000, and I think that's it. I think he's just paying
payable over the next 6 months.
Yeah, $55,000. So kind of a win in court, but I still look at the $55,000 personally as no way.
Yeah, that's still bullshit.
Yeah, it's crock shit.
How about now though? Because of double jeopardy, they can't ever come after him about that again. Okay, fine. $55,000. Okay, and if he's an Amish, their community, they're going to be like, okay.
But in that case, how come your common, average, everyday individual can't understand just how leechy government is? I mean, you know what? Leeches actually serve a purpose. I hate to disrespect leeches by calling our politicians leeches, because these people, they just kill.
Well,
they are just...
Yeah, I mean, this guy he was operating for nearly 30 years when he was raided by armed federal agents.
Yeah.
For raw meat and adulterated milk selling.
I would imagine that this was product that would rival some of the finest in the world.
Maybe some milk company with Prairie Farms.
Dude, I spend the extra money on butter from up in Wisconsin, like from an Amish community up there.
There's Amish communities here in Iowa.
Well, yeah, I know, but this is what we're getting in the store, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like
so good.
Amazing. I can taste how clean and pure and it is, you know what I mean? And
dude, you can make your own butter.
Yeah, of course. But
some heavy whipping cream.
It's not unaffordable either.
Some buttermilk.
It's just real food.
Yeah, and it's real good.
Real food is expensive.
It doesn't have all those preservatives in them. Keep them lasting long
and it's,
during their journey to your
it smells store. Like just pure clarified butter when you heat it up.
Yeah. Anyways, it's great to cook with.
Yeah, it's a win. So
great to cook with.
Good for Amos Miller. I'm glad that we can update positively on that. And he gets apparently, it's payments. So the government is being kind and allowing him to, payments, to pay them in payments.
Right.
$55,000.
How generous of them.
I don't know about you guys.
Is that a win?
I don't know about you.
It's better than 300,000. But at the same time, still.
And then who knows? And then who knows what sort of jail time they were looking at, to try to get the guy with it first.
Well, and here's what I'm saying though. Here's the positive for that. Now, he can't get hit for double jeopardy, right? And
you've said that, and
if
it's
they
duly
tried,
noted. I understand. Yeah.
And if they tried to do it with the community, okay, well, I'll just buy their farm and their farm and their farm. Now this is all my meat. You guys can't try me for this shit. You already did it once.
So he's free, and he gets to.
And this may very well work in his advantage.
It could, but I think.
But he's Amish.
I think that Amish people are just trying to. The genuine Amish people are just trying to serve God.
Their values are way different than ours. They're not out trying to make profits, and he would do that if he had to in order just to help save his community.
So in honest business, if you get a $55,000 fine, the cost of your product just went up, dude. You're not paying that, and you're charging your customer for that money.
Well,
you're charging your customer.
And in all honesty, from what I know about individuals that do a lot of business with Mennonites and Amish and stuff down in southern Iowa, is that's okay because the amount of stuff you get for the price that you're paying is, I guess, just unreasonable in today's cost.
That's kind of the point that I'm getting to is that maybe they're not going to pass it on to their customer.
They may not,
but
I'm sure. But here's the other thing: the communities share the funds, so they don't have a bank. They have, they all share. They take care of their own. So I'm sure they'll just be like, okay, whatever.
Okay, but you can bet.
And like I said, they're going to use that, making sure the double jeopardy thing doesn't happen in their.
You can bet that anytime a Fortune 500 company gets fined $5,500, that's getting passed on to the customer somehow.
Oh yeah, because the VPs and the president, CEOs and stuff aren't going to take that hit.
No.
The investors aren't going to take that hit. How dare they? I'm sitting here collecting money doing nothing but sitting on my ass. Why should I have to pay for that?
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. Mate.
What do you think, Erock?
I got something else we can move on to.
Just, I hope they have the funds.
I'm sure they'll be fine. So, this is kind of shocking, big news, okay? Serotonin imbalance found not to be linked to depression. This is Psychology Today. Many of you may have already heard about this by the time this episode airs. I've seen it.
Will they really?
I've seen it on a lot of mainstream media talking about it. It says here, new research overturns a long-held understanding of how antidepressants work. We'll go through the key points here at the beginning, and there's a few things down further in the article I want to talk about. But the key points here, it says, new research reviewing huge bodies of scientific evidence found no direct link between serotonin and depression. Depression is therefore not just the result of having too little serotonin, but may be related to more complex brain chemistry. But here's what really gets me. Antidepressants, including SSRIs, which stands for the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So it says, so antidepressants, that's the main chemical in the majority of antidepressants that people are prescribed from their doctor.
SSRIs?
Yes.
Okay.
Remain an effective treatment. We just need to better understand why and how they work, which I think is kind of fishy.
Yeah,
because
as widely as they're used, you'd think that would already be sort of hashed out, right?
So it's supposed to be increasing your serotonin levels in your brain, which is supposed to be helping with antidepressants. But there's an odd thing that's been happening is a lot of people that are on antidepressant medication end up having extreme experiences.
Well,
meltdowns.
Yeah.
Sometimes they take their lives and other people's. It's pretty extreme.
I think that there are some untold stories of long-term psychotropic drug use, personally.
Right. And we're going to get into that. So, and the last key point here real quick is recent theory suggests antidepressants may have more important effects on neuroplasticity than just serotonin levels. Okay. So,
nice
job
the there, Fire Marshal Bill.
Thanks, man. Whatever the fuck that means, we're going to have to look that up. Good Erock. But here's my thing. So if these main drugs, these SSRIs, the article says depressed people have less serotonin than they need to, so will be helped by taking selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, the most popular type of antidepressant medication. That was commonly thought to be what causes people to be depressed. But through the investigation, through multiple articles throughout different countries and all over our country, all over the world, they learned that's not the case at all. And they really don't know what causes depression yet. Again, even so,
maybe some people are just born a little doomier and gloomier than the rest.
Maybe some people, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's mental. I mean, I've been depressed about some stuff before, and
I've been known to get down about a thing or two.
But this is what scares me: is essentially all these people that were taking these antidepressants were basically being used as guinea pigs,
taking drugs to, yeah.
Apparently, it was 17.5 million U.S. men and women.
It's quite a lot of people.
That was how many people the study covered?
That are on SSRIs.
Yeah, dude. So
that's what do we have there? That's 17 million people. That's roughly.
But who knows after the pandemic?
5 to 5.5 times the size of the state of Iowa.
But Erock just made a good point though, and yeah, that's a large amount of people. And Erock just made a good point. That was before the pandemic. That article was made.
Oh yeah.
And we know there was a lot of reported cases of people that were unfortunately took their lives during the seclusion and the isolation.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's scary and that's sad.
Kids, even kids.
So
another one says more than 37 million Americans take antidepressants.
Americans.
I don't know if that's
Americans.
I don't know, dude. That to me, that's just mind blowing. I don't see how they didn't find this out earlier. How it took a private group of researchers to draw this.
Psychology Today, an epidemic of antidepressants.
I don't want to get into it too much, but I remember when I was a kid kind of being told, because I was, just a whack job. Just,
you were?
Like a fucking gremlin, right?
Calm down, dude.
And,
still are.
Right? So, I remember being told a time or two, well, they have medication for that.
Yeah.
It's just like, I remember even thinking then something's wrong with that.
I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. That's, you don't know what these drugs are actually doing, do you? So.
Yeah. I've never actually
we had that conversation.
had any of these drugs.
Well, and we've had this conversation with Pat Miletich where, there was thousands of years of plant study and what plants-based medicines could do for you.
Wild ginseng.
And then these certain companies got a hold of basically the textbooks in colleges, the Rockefellers and whatnot, Carnegies.
Well, yeah.
And
with fossil fuels
started pushing these
petroleum products.
Yep, these petroleum-based.
Figured out how to design them from the molecule. Right?
So, ergo,
yeah.
They started pushing.
Well, we can plug this into your brain this way. It's like
Welcome to the Matrix.
It's like a fucking movie.
Right. It's crazy, dude. Yeah, not to get too deep into it, but like I'm saying, that's just... So, what were these drugs actually doing to everybody that was on these antidepressants? Yeah. I mean, if you're out there and you're depressed, go get help for sure, but that's... I mean, I'd be looking at alternative views.
Yeah, don't jump out of hotel windows.
Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't. Or fall down multiple flights of stairs.
Hey, there's plenty to live for.
Absolutely.
And you're hearing that from, we're people that have fucked up our fair share.
We have made mistakes because we are human.
Yeah.
You've heard a few of them on the show.
Those are the ones we care to share. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, there's plenty more to go on for, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
People love you. We love you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening. So, just like I said, I would seek alternative medicinal approaches to everything.
Try to find your spirit. Try to become a Nepalese monk. Try to
find some shrooms.
That may open your mind. Hey. Joe Rogan talks about it often. Psilocybins, right?
Well, I don't know. Psilocybins, or depending on the type of shiitakes for a nice soup.
Oh, yeah.
Or clear soup.
Here in the Midwest, we have these amazing mushrooms that grow only out here. Morels.
No, they don't grow only out here.
Well, in the Midwest. Oh, dude. So I had
they're tasty.
I had a gunny in the Marine Corps that was a recruiter out in Cedar Rapids.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, Teepee, what the hell's the name of those mushrooms that only grow out in the Midwest, this and that, and they only come up once time?" I was like, "Oh, morels." He's like, "Yeah, you can fry them or just put them in butter, this and that." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, man." He's like, "Those were amazing." I'm like, heck yeah, they were." And you're right. You can only get them out in the Midwest, dude. Certain places. Yep.
Yeah, they are duck.
And they are amazing.
They are duck and delicious.
You slice them.
They are duck and delicious.
You slice them and fry them. I mean, even if you just slice them up and just do them in butter, fry them up in butter, or cook them up in some butter, warm them up on the skillet, serve them soft with buttery goodness and some salt. Erock's getting hungry over here. I can see in his eyes.
No, he's thinking about other mushrooms.
Those mushrooms, hey, are fun too, right? Open your mind.
Well,
just be careful. Be safe. Talk to your doctor.
Colorado, you can.
Is it legal out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
This ain't Colorado.
I think
so. If you want to try it,
California's trying to legalize it too.
Well, they decriminalized it out there out west, right? Washington, you could probably have them.
Something that some people don't think about as well is maybe they'll show you demons.
Dude, that's real too. You don't know. That's true too. That's why I say you gotta be careful with this stuff, dude. Open doors.
I don't know what I meant by that.
Hey, man.
Hey,
all right,
it's up to you what I meant by that.
Whatever you want. So let's move on to another one here. We got, this was, I believe, Erock's.
Well, why don't we let Erock present it then? In that case,
we got an update. We won the war for 1 year on the IRS delaying the new tax reporting rule.
Yep.
on Venmo, PayPal payments over $600. So the Internal Revenue Service said on Friday that it's delaying the 1 year on a new tax reporting requirement targeting Americans who made more than $600 online through third-party payments and apps like Venmo and PayPal.
Good. It's a win. Only postponed for a year, though. We need to get it off.
So I better sell stuff on eBay. And
yeah, that's not a winning a war.
Oh. Well, I thought we were doing a war update.
No.
That's
said
just
the
a
road
year.
to war.
That's just buying a year
shit.
till they take total fucking control.
Yeah.
Well, it came from fierce backlash from Republican lawmakers and small business owners and tax professionals to lower the reporting requirement.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm so glad that we have that fierce backlash from those Republican lawmakers to protect us in this country.
yeah, so stunning and brave.
Yeah, they're fucking so brave, man.
Yeah, dude. That's why old Eric Adams over here, or I should say new Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, is out there telling Politico, Big Brother is protecting you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Quote, unquote.
I mean, once you're dead, they'll definitely piece the murder together, right?
But until then, they're just going to watch you and collect all your data. Listen to our show.
But they'll definitely be able to piece it
somebody's
together.
listening to us and be like, these guys are idiots.
Well, I'm probably right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
Fuck you too.
You're right. Yeah.
Give a shit.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. It's comedy. Anyways.
Entertainment.
Yeah, let me
I'm
read
glad
the
I
quote
don't.
down here.
Never mind.
Yeah, so remember Eric Adams was voted in after, what was it, de Blasio?
Yeah.
The New York City mayor.
Billionaire. Who knows?
Yeah. And he said that, so they talk about in this article how he created another task force on the police department to crack down on illegal firearms and, citizens owning weapons and stuff.
Nice.
I don't know if it was just citizens owning weapons, but trying to get weapons out of the city.
Illegal firearms.
Illegal firearms, according to the city. So, and then they said there was like a 23.2% uptick in crime, right? The article says, which would make sense because you created a new task force to bust down on crime. Naturally, wouldn't your numbers on crime go up because you're arresting, you're making more arrests,
arresting
you're
more
having
people,
more reports?
Yeah, like
That's just me thinking, my dumb corn fred ass thinking.
the 87,000 IRS agents. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
right.
Can find a lot more with those resources.
Well, they got to wait another
Just
year
look.
to get trained.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. See. Yeah.
Well,
talk
did you
that.
hear about Eric Adams? He spent Christmas during the winter storm in U.S. Virgin Islands. He's facing some backlash for that.
No.
Like Ted Cruz did when he went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what that was for because I didn't really think much of it because who gives a shit where you go and for what reasons.
Old Ted Cruz.
But
Ted Cruz. The Virgin Islands. What else did I hear about the Virgin Islands recently? Something about Epstein, I think. Yeah.
The Epstein Islands?
Yeah, the U.S. Virgin Islands are suing J.P. Morgan. This is a December 28th, 2022 by Brad Dress, The Hill. This is an article from Yahoo.
yeah, I remember you said
But
that.
yeah, U.S. Virgin Islands sues J.P. Morgan, alleging it turned blind eye to Jeffrey Epstein, which is really interesting that you brought up the Virgin Islands there. And, yeah, they're saying that J.P. Morgan Chase facilitated the trafficking of minors for sexual abuse at the hands of Epstein.
Well, we'll never know. The documents are sealed. Don't know who. Don't know how much.
Go look into that.
Don't know when.
Ghislaine.
It's so funny
Galen.
that Jizz is in her name.
Yeah, Galen Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell. We're so mature.
What the hell, dude? I just 60-year-old dude. Just
Well, did you hear about
teenage women.
Sam Bankman-Fried hires
Yeah.
PI who also worked with Ghislaine Maxwell and mobsters.
That's weird. Well, did you see he, on an update to him, he got arrested in
This
the
is
Bahamas?
a segment called
Update
Did
War.
You See?
Did you see? All right, we're naming it that. Go back in time. Look, listen to our other episodes because this is an update on pretty much a bunch of stuff we covered in 2022. Also, I saw this one on MSN. It's a Fox News article being shared December 17th. Biden blocking Hunter Biden Burisma emails would prove how much he has to hide. quote-unquote conservative group warns. And it goes on to talk about this legal group staffed by former members of the Trump administration.
Yeah, I just can't imagine something of that nature not being significant enough to investigate.
Well,
it's incredible.
We read parts.
It's fucking incredible.
We read the bullet points on that Senate.gov article archived. Our government knows about it. The Senate has this information available to them. The citizens can look it up. In episode 7, the Hunter Bulger Ukraine connection. Go listen to it. Talk about this. And it's crazy. But yeah, go read the article for yourself. Erock's got something. Erock's got something.
No, I was just going to say Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh,
She spent
America
her,
First Legal was the
her
one that
Christmas and 61st birthday behind bars with no festive celebrations and bagged dinner of 2 pieces of bread, peanut butter, jelly, a cookie, and fruit.
Sounds rough.
Oh.
Let me tell you about this one time.
No, it's not quite as good as when she was going to the Windsor Palace undocumented.
Yeah. Let me tell you about this one time where these little girls were trafficked down to the Virgin Islands, and they had their lives completely ruined.
Yeah,
for Christmas. That's what they got that here.
You're being a real fucking downer right now.
Hey man, Erock brought it up, right?
So did you hear also Ghislaine Maxwell?
Did you hear?
She's serving a cushy regimen, including pottery sessions, board game tournaments, crochet lessons from a notorious double murderer.
Sans wrath.
20 years in Tallahassee, she'll be there.
Down in Tallahassee. Well, at least the weather's nice.
With her peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
It's like dessert for dinner or lunch or whatever.
But, she still claims she's an innocent woman.
Yep.
I doubt she was in control of anything.
She had a lot of connections.
Yeah. She's probably just a socialite is all.
Yeah.
It's really probably all she was that was into some devious ass shit.
Last thing we want to hit on. An update on some stuff we talked about earlier. We never hit on it. Zelensky announces he is planning to join World Economic Forum in Davos to sign new post-war loans with BlackRock.
Erock, did you?
Yeah, this was
So
Erock.
is this like an auditing?
This is the postmillennial.com. What do you mean auditing?
Yeah.
Well, about the loans, like what's the deal?
No, it's reconstruction.
Yeah.
He's
going to borrow money.
So they will fund the new Ukraine.
We do not longer have FTX. We need other types of money because Sam Bankman-Fried was a fraud.
BlackRock built us.
The same BlackRock that fuck everybody in the world, including Sri Lanka.
And yeah, and they're of course closely tied to the World Economic Forum and heavily fund the Clintons.
Well, one of them.
What?
You didn't hear the rumor?
What?
The conspiracy theory?
What?
Apparently, remember that episode we talked about when Hillary stroked out and they threw her in the van? We watched her die that day.
I do remember that.
So how'd she survive? Baby's blood?
Because remember when she came back out
BlackRock came in
she
and
was like,
injected $1 trillion worth of cash into her arteries. And
just like they did with Magic Johnson. That's how he got rid of AIDS.
Yes. The South Park.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, dude. Bill and his Haitian regret.
What are you
Always
even talking about? What's
I don't
happening?
know, man. I don't know, man. But you guys got anything else we want to talk about, or do you want to wrap this up, or we just want to bullshit for a couple more minutes?
Yeah, we can bolt BS.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing anyway.
That's what we always do. So, shut it off, Erock. Shut her down.
What were you talking about?
What do you mean?
What was your article?
What's the conspiracy
Zelensky?
theory? Get into
Yeah.
the conspiracy theory.
I told you that Hillary's dead. That's her double running around now. And that Bill Clinton is like really on his deathbed or some shit.
What is this? Some QAnon bullshit?
Why you gotta be mad at QAnon, dude? Why you always-
Because I find that shit incredibly annoying.
Well, I'll tell you what. The shit about the children, the evidence that they had about, like, there have been politicians, city aldermen, officials that have been busted with child pornography, stuff like that, this and that.
I don't doubt.
This Epstein stuff they were on too.
Yeah, I don't doubt a lot of that.
So, I mean, I'm just saying I think that's how they roped a lot of people in.
But if you listen to,
But I'm not.
if
I'm
you
not all,
if you
I'm
hear
not all
Q
into it. Like
if you hear Q people, they're like, yeah, man, that's what they found all them kids in them tunnels, man, and they're like, that's what they're getting all them kids out of them tunnels in Ukraine. And that's what Putin's part of the plan.
That's what I'm saying. When they
Putin's working with Trump, and they're gonna.
Oh really? I didn't hear.
They're gonna reinstitute the constitutional republic.
What?
Yeah.
Well, our last episode, we talked about all these opposers of the Ukraine war just dying off in mysterious ways, so it's probably not happening. I don't think Putin's working with Trump. What? Oh, I didn't know any of that. Like I said, I could see where people got roped in. I did research a lot of it before it became, like, mainstream, before Q sent me, which Tinfoil Hat, Sam Tripoli, they did an excellent job on the Q sent me, those guys that wrote the movie or directed the documentary. Q sent me. You know what I'm talking about, Erock? I know you listen.
Yeah,
to
but I haven't seen it. The movie. No.
I haven't seen the movie, but I listened to that podcast with the directors and stuff, and it was very interesting. And what we know from who shared that January 6th stuff? Bring that up. Trump.
Yeah, what happened with Trump today? I thought he was going to jail. I thought you said.
Yeah, that's what people were saying.
Getting subpoenaed?
He was getting subpoenaed, and he was going to prison for
everything. It's just a show.
Let's start a riot.
It's all a show. Yeah.
Let's start a riot.
But apparently today they dropped the subpoena.
Yeah. Drop the subpoena
today.
So why isn't he going to talk? Why don't they want him to talk?
Well,
what day was it? December 29th?
29th.
There is quite a bit that Biden's could be subpoenaed for at a later date. So maybe that's one reason.
What are you talking about?
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
They don't want that to happen in the future to people that take
like
the
what we
office
just
of
talked about,
president.
the stuff happening with Burisma and Hunter. And
Well, yeah. They don't want the precedent to be set to be able to do that to future presidents.
So it was a conspiracy.
Because they want their people in there, right?
So what we know, it was a conspiracy that the Hunter Biden laptop story was real and it was being suppressed because of the election, right?
This is incontrovertibly...
Now we know that because of the Twitter files. Yeah, now it's proven that they did do that. That everything on the laptop was true. The stories were suppressed by the government via Facebook.
You deny it
Twitter
at the risk of just making yourself completely useless.
Ignorant.
As a source of information.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It like, holy smokes. It's crazy. This is the world we live in, folks. It's the world we live in. Fucking cartoon.
That's
where people fall down multiple flights of stairs and end up in a pool of blood.
Miracles can happen, man.
That I wouldn't call that a miracle. But miracles can happen. I believe in miracles from God.
Next thing you know, we're going to be finding out about some healer. Some, like...
Dr. Fauci?
Some scabby district in town,
No.
Healing all sorts of people.
I'm waiting. That already happened. I'm waiting for aliens to land on the front lawn, dude.
So do you want to hear Trump?
Don't believe it.
Who can do the best Trump here?
I think Erock's got a pretty good Trump.
I don't think that.
Erock, you should probably try to do a Trump. Do it.
Erock, you are seriously the best at doing Trump. Seriously, the very best.
Nah, you can't do it.
You can do it.
Was just advised that the unselected committee of political thugs has withdrawn the subpoena of me concerning the January 6th protest of the crooked 2020 presidential election.
And it was crooked.
So crooked. They probably did because they knew I did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong, no. Or they were about to lose in court. Perhaps the FBI's involvement in rigging the election played in their decision. In any event, the subpoena is dead. That was his.
Dead.
Not me.
The
Subpoena is dead.
I'm not going to jail. Joe Biden.
It was the best deadness
Well, I
of
mean-
a subpoena in history.
in the history of mankind. The history of this country. I can't do Trump. I can't do that. Play a clip of him. Let's try to get it. No, I'm just joking.
You play the clip, asshole.
Would I approve waterboarding? You bet your ass I'd approve it. You bet your ass. In a heartbeat.
And I'd bring back a hell of a lot worse than waterboarding.
How did I do it?
Getting back to what I was saying. Aliens, man. Don't trust them. Don't trust a single fucking one.
So they went through all that hubbub. That's the word of the day. Hubbub.
Hubbub.
About subpoenaing him.
About people going to jail,
About
screaming,
subpoenas him?
Subpoenaing this.
and now he's.
Yeah, I don't
The
get it.
lawyers emailed his lawyers and like, never mind.
Okay, maybe not. Oh, every fucking
Remember when we said we're going to take you to court for this?
every fucking online Democrat
okay, so
in
he's
the
not
forget about
universe
that. Just forget
has been
about it.
convinced
Just
that this
forget.
motherfucker is going to prison. He will be indicted now.
That's because he's rich.
Duh.
He's just paid him off.
Duh. You ignorant fool.
Whatever happened to the Mar-a-Lago raid
Right. We should do an update on that one.
or the road to war?
There's a lot of updates. There's a lot of updates
But
out there.
at the same time, folks, you guys need to be doing your own research too. So,
Is there any updates on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline attack?
Yeah, everybody in the world is convinced that the United States did it.
that's weird.
But nobody's saying it.
That's super weird. Why would they accuse him of that? Maybe it's because, like we said, there's only a few teams in the world that are capable of pulling that mission
So,
off.
TP, what was your theory if Trump would have got subpoenaed?
What would have been my theory? Oh, a bunch of MAGA people would have lost their minds. I don't think they'd be rioting in the streets like the summer of love in 2020. But I think a lot of people would be pretty upset. But I don't think they would have had enough evidence. That clearly shows that they didn't have enough evidence to do anything, to pin him with anything. Because guess what? He's still a multimillionaire, billionaire,
Well,
right?
2 years later.
So
I mean,
he can afford really
they
good
had-
attorneys, dude. If they didn't have solid evidence on the guy to pin what they wanted to pin on him, then, and there was no contest, then he'd be able to get away with. They can't charge him again. Double jeopardy. They don't want to put themselves. They might be trying to build more evidence. I don't know. Maybe there's more shit out there. Maybe they discovered some nuclear Russian codes and shit or whatever at Mar-a-Lago. But for me, that tells me right there that they didn't have nearly enough evidence to be able to pin him solidly. So they weren't even going to try to put the fight up in court because they would have lost. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. I could be wrong. Probably am. Has happened before. But I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. And then fix it.
So will he still be able to run?
Oh,
Your
yeah, that's a
prediction.
good question.
Because I thought that was what this was about. was
Yeah, you're right. Trying to keep him
bar
from being
him from,
able to run for the 2024. Wow. You rock.
Dun, dun, dun.
Look at that. Left fielder. Yeah, probably. I don't know if he's going to.
Or they think that they did enough damage to his reputation, which
No, I don't
he
think they
deserves
did.
it, I think.
Well, because there's enough people out there that love the guy.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
You think they were like, all right, the damage is done. We're just going to cut our losses.
Look what Biden did as vice president, and he got voted in as president. If you're a fanboy, you're a fanboy.
Were they really fanboys, though?
Yeah, of the Democratic Party and whoever they put in there. Trump actually has fanboys that like want him to be like a politician for the rest of his life. Me, I don't know, because he
or that his reputation is just so tarnished.
No, absolutely not. I don't think his reputation is tarnished at all.
I don't think there's any way
He's
that
washing his hands of it.
I don't think there's any way that the mainstream
just
media these days can tarnish somebody's reputation, given what they have done themselves.
One, if you're listening to the mainstream media and how they want to represent the people of America, which they're not, and you want to listen to the fucking garbage that's spewed out of their mouth and believe it, then I don't know what to tell you. Why are you listening to us? Thank you. But
you go get Muammar Gaddafi. Kill him. Take him out of power in Libya.
He's trying to destroy our freedoms. Yeah, Victor Bout. He was smuggling weapons to people to try to kill Americans. The 30 years he was in fucking business selling weapons to Middle Easterns and Africans, they wanted to kill us.
He was guilty of not being an American, selling weapons to try to kill Americans.
He pissed off the wrong CIA agent.
You got to be an American to sell weapons to try to kill Americans.
Dude, that's why I'm getting like that. That was one of his charges, that he was guilty of selling these weapons that were trying to kill Americans. Blah blah blah. I'm like,
he wasn't involved in Fast and Furious.
No, he wasn't. But you know what he was doing, and what we talked about in that episode was he was flying in supplies, most likely weapons, for the United States government in the beginning of the Afghanistan war.
What?
Yeah. In areas where no other companies wanted to go. Not him specifically, his company.
I fly here before.
Yeah.
I've been here before. I'm
not
Soviet Air Force officer. I fly into Afghanistan before. I've been here.
Under rocket fighter and small arms fighter, we do it. You pay, we go.
You pave runway. Beautiful.
So this is before we left all the weapons over there? Is that,
Yeah, this is in 2000. This is in like 2003, 2004.
This is when George Bush went in to really pay back those that attacked us on 9/11.
Yes. And
in
protected our freedoms in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah.
I feel so protected.
Yeah.
I feel so protected. Spoken like a true hero.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad I was part of the war machine. You want to know why? Because it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Man, well, there is no question that walking around Afghanistan make a man fucking hard.
No, situation always dictates. Some guys did it and they're like, I need a truck. It happens. Anyways. Well.
Were you guarding the poppy fields?
No, but, well, yeah, basically. We were actually trying to get flamethrowers to burn them down.
He had a minesweeper.
Yeah. But we, it was like cornfields out here, though, dude. As far as the eye could see, just poppy plants. It's supposed to be illegal.
You know how popular opiates are.
Yeah.
Can't spell poppy without popular.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ish.
I'm glad I never resorted to intravenously.
That's not appealing to me at all.
I'm just having some fun with somebody. Hey, Teepee. Hey, Erock. You guys want to come over and bang some?
Listen to some G.G. Allen and bang some fucking dope, bro.
Well, no. Because I got shit to do tomorrow, and drinking is going to be bad enough.
Yeah, I don't want to be falling asleep standing in line for my fucking burger at McDonald's. I'm sorry for anybody that's had an addiction problem with that, but seriously, what is wrong? Why would you do that? Why would you stick a needle in your arm that's not an IV bag because you need fucking nutrients to survive?
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Unnecessary needles should be scary.
God bless you if you came out of that. Actually, I had a family member that was involved in it and got clean, and God bless her. I also had a very close friend in the Marine Corps that fucking got clean and had told me some crazy stories about shit that happened in that world. And he's like, have you ever seen the movie Trainspotting? I was like, no. He's like, go watch that. It's kind of like that.
I've only seen clips, and it's scary.
Go watch the whole movie. And he's like, it's like that. Like, there's one scene, because I watched the movie and I came back. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, there's that one scene where this dope house, these people, they have a baby, and then they switch out of reality for, like, chase the dragon for, like, 2 or 3 days and forget about the baby, and then they come to, and they're like, oh, shit, we have a kid here, and they go check on the kid, and it's dead in the crib. And then they were just like, well, let's go bang it up again. And he's like, yeah, because that's all you care about. That's like, literally, like, you don't give a shit. Like, I was like, oh, God, this is a stressful situation. This is terrible. I should just go snap out of reality. Not worry about it.
That's incredibly depressing.
Right. Yeah. I was like, that's terrible.
That's better, not better than leaving them in their car. In the back seat.
It's true, dude.
You are like the
Wait, that was the last
silent,
episode.
That was the last episode, but you're right.
You're
dude.
like the silent, heartless motherfucker.
He's right, though. Why are we laughing at it, though? What does that make us? Sick bastards. If you're laughing, you're a sick bastard, too.
No, there's nothing funny about it, but
No, there's not, unfortunately.
my goodness.
It's really fucking unfortunate.
you know, you gotta.
But so, if you have an addiction problem, go seek help, for God's sakes. You're better than that. You can do better. Because the people that I know that came out of it, they're great people. They've been doing better. Well, the one kind of had some issues. God bless him.
Or you can be one of the many and you can fail.
Well, don't do that. Don't be a statistic. And if you're listening to our show, if you know anybody that's fucking on that shit, go help them, man. Because unfortunately, I know a couple people that have chased the dragon too far. And it's not cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah. And and we've already done that.
No.
And we've had episodes where we talked about that. The hashtag oat epidemic episode. That was one of our like second or third one. I can't remember. That was an old one. That was when we first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about that. The amount of heroin that increased coming into the U.S. shores since the beginning of the Afghanistan war.
It's awful interesting.
It's outrageous, dude.
But then opioids. Isn't that like synthetic?
Where do you think they extract
And
this
then
shit from?
and then yeah, that
So fentanyl.
yeah, but
So cheap
So they can-
opioids were not
they
only
can come
flooding
up
the
with
U.S. shores, but they were
synthetic- they can come
flooding
up with synthetic
the
opiates.
Chinese. Yeah, the Chinese.
because we have
shores.
receptors, right? There's opiate or opioid receptors in our brain, right?
Our brain wants to get high.
So there's a big market for synthetic ones.
Unfortunately. Well, and
And
here's how they're also
it's just-
here's
yeah.
how they're hooking kids. In the sports, the athletes. Oh, you got a bum knee? I got you, bud.
There you go.
Don't worry
Boom.
about it.
Swallow this.
Get back in that game, bud. You can do better. Like one of my best friends, you guys know him. He played football in high school, tore his ACL, and he's got 2 boys, and he's like, I will never let my boys. He's like wrestling all day long, football. You no way, because he mid-30s and still has trouble to this day with that freaking.
I'm trying
knee.
to think of who that is, and I don't know.
No,
So-
well, I'm telling you guys know.
So don't you dare.
But it doesn't matter.
So don't you dare say that.
Shut your filthy mouth.
Isn't football like flag football nowadays anyways?
I don't know, but he to this day, 20 years later, because it happened his like freshman or sophomore year, when he was like 15, 16 years old. 20 years later, still having issues with that knee. Has to sleep a certain way because of those issues. So, just saying, if you're going to let your kids be in athletics, and then not to mention the cheerleader friggin'...
Yeah, but you fall.
Yeah.
Somebody fucking doesn't actually...
The amount of cheerleaders...
they let go, and you fall.
Trust fall.
Yeah.
And then they break their neck. Or tweak their shit. You know. Scary shit, man.
So we
I would
need
hate to be...
safe spaces for
no
cheerleaders and football players. Bubbles.
Huh? I'm just saying, dude. Be careful what you do.
I'm surprised that I've never been hurt skiing.
But at the same time, like we talked about with Pat Miletich, if your kids are going to be in athletics, make sure they're getting the proper nutrients and they're getting what their bodies need to be able to take care of themselves, especially if they get damaged, right?
Easier seen than did there, Teepee.
Hey, I get it, man. I totally understand. My daughter's got issues from her soccer playing days. Kids these days, they want to whine about what's wrong with them. When we were kids, we just sucked it up and played the dang on sport.
No, we whined like a bunch of bitches.
Pele died today at 82.
Who?
Pele. Whoever that was.
Are you being
Soccer player.
fucking serious?
Yeah.
The Brazilian soccer player?
Yeah, he died today.
Well, that...
On December 29th, 2022? Even though you guys are listening to us in 2023. We're time traveling in this episode.
when we're recording this episode.
Yeah, because Erock can't stop saying today. Like he thinks this is a live episode, which we don't have yet.
Want the lottery numbers?
Dude, we should do that. Let us know if you want us to do a live show.
Be like the almanac and Biff. Biff is going to be there. He's going to be like, yeah, I got this almanac.
Now, why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
It's leave, you idiot. Make like a tree and leave. You sound like a damn fool when you say it wrong.
All right, then, leave!
It's make like a tree and leave, you idiot. Can't believe I used to say that. Anyways.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
You don't know what we're talking about?
No.
You've never...
Sometimes I feel like I want to smack the fuck out of you.
Your childhood sucked. Like you...
Back to the Future, dude.
Ferris Bueller and Back to the Future.
What?
All right,
Erock, I've known you for so many years, but it's like I'm fucking learning more about you now than...
Yeah.
Let's cut this fucking
Don't worry,
recording.
folks. Don't worry.
Let's cut this recording.
No.
Cut this recording.
We're gonna end the show. We
and
really
drink
appreciate
beers.
We really appreciate all you
right.
guys. Please like, follow, share, subscribe.
We have to still
comment.
We have to still pretend that we love Erock after all of this.
Well, yeah, cut back in.
No, for real though. Do all that shit for us.
I've seen the movies. Shit. All right.
Also, I know it doesn't mean that much to you guys, but like commenting and liking, sharing, all that stuff like that really goes a long way for us. So if you guys could please help us out, do these things for us, we really appreciate it. We hear you guys listening out in California, Washington, down to Florida, obviously, Massachusetts. We got some people in Indiana, family, friends.
Hey, in those places with big populations where, evil forces seem to dominate because there are so many of them, just stay strong, You guys you're strong enough to hold on and keep it going.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, we live in little Iowa, but we keep it really cool here because, well, I mean, nobody wants to come here for one reason.
You know what? But we got a lot of awesome stuff. I can't wait for spring to pop up and the snow to melt. And
yeah, if you can handle cold weather. Yeah.
Yeah, but because you know what? We're going camping and fishing this year, folks. And we're going to do a show in either the spring or summertime around a campfire. Not a campfire. It's just going to be a fire. Either at my place or Theo's. And you're going to be hearing the cackling of the fire in the background.
Well, we can do some ice fishing right now.
But yeah, we could. if we wanted to. We wouldn't be recording that. But, anywho, hey, thanks again, folks. We love you. We appreciate it. This is the Talk Guys signing off.
Like, subscribe.
Iowa.
Out.